find himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Newhoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the down pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's allowed to have fun. Yeah, and
It's all about the entertainment, so I hope
everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is enjoying himself watching Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
got it!
He's on the outside line, though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now, though, for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such chopper. He's not just second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it! Big Barry! Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Triple Bypass Racing League with the TBP Driver Appreciation 69, sponsored by Brian Cooper. Round 6 live from Daytona International Speedway. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined into the booth by Bradley Dalton here this evening, who's going to be operating the cams for us as well. Don't forget, guys, if you want to get yourselves involved in some triple bypass racing, you can do. They have got 5 nights of racing. Sunday is Gem 4s. Tuesday is late models. Wednesdays is the road racing. Thursdays is Xfinity. And Friday is the GT3s, GTPs, multi-class here as well. 14 race seasons, championship trophies, guaranteed heartbreaking racing. Head over to triplebypassracing.com, and we're going to give a big shout out to Brian Cooper, who has sponsored this evening's event as well. I believe Brian is not here this evening either, but if I do remember correctly, there is a message that I will put out for Brian as well, as a big thanks for sponsoring this event. So much love to you, Brian Cooper, as well, who is not here this evening, unfortunately, but we can have a look at the scores on the doors at the moment. Here as well is the Xfinity Season 4 after 5 of 14 races, 2 drop weeks applied, and at the moment it's Chad Bear out on the top on 124 points. Justin Haslett on 109, Sean Bradley on 106 with Carl Gretsch on 102, Mark Herzog on 100, Nick Howard on 95, Ben Harkham on 94, Keith Hanlon on 93. We're tied with Al Killicori and Aston Rice on 89 there as well. So thank you so much for everybody that's joining us. We're there as well. Over or under yellows, I say 4. I'm saying 2. And Tyler Ruelas, Daytona. Oh, that's the arcade game. Who remembers that one when they were a kid? Let's bring Brad into the booth alongside me, as you've just heard him there as well. Brad, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Hey, James, I'm doing good. Hope everyone's having a good evening, of course. It's a good morning for you. It's always a good morning, though, when you get to watch some NASCAR. I know you've grown from your European roots to be a NASCAR fan, so it's good to see you enjoying it so much.
I love it, mate. Daytona this weekend. Looking forward to that one. Should be a very interesting race, to be fair. Can Hamlin win again after he took the Busch Light, obviously, battle at the Coliseum not so long, or Clash at the Coliseum, I think it was called, not so long ago, of course, as well. I'm really excited for this. I love Daytona. Obviously, we've got the Daytona 500 that's out this week as well. If you haven't done any, you can. I'm going to do Saturday morning over here in the UK because I don't have time, unfortunately, to do some of the others. So there you go. Right, so Cooper. Don't forget Brian Cooper. I did say there was a message. There was. I had to find a message as well. It says Brian Cooper runs a sister league called LOL, who I believe we've done some broadcasting for previously as well. They run trucks, street stocks, and an upcoming series featuring the Silver Crown cars as well. So if you want to get yourselves involved with that, you can. All links down below in the Discord there as well. But it is Daytona. It is going to be absolutely epic. We have just entered into qualifying here as well. So get your drinks, get your popcorn, sit back, relax, and chill out. Thank you so much for joining us. Like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and do all that other fancy jazz that is here as well. Brad, Daytona, full flat circuit. What do we think is going to happen?
Well, as you know, my friend. You ran some Talladega, I believe, last week or the week before. So
I did.
as you know, there is a rule that is known as the big one. So 69 laps, it's nice, but I do expect the big one to show up somewhere. I am expecting something exciting. I'm expecting a lot of good racing. There's nothing that will shock me with Daytona. We could have 69 laps of bumper to bumper bump drafting. We could have 69 laps and have 10 cautions. I mean, anything can happen here, and I'm real excited for it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. I really do here as well. Don't forget, guys, 2 days, 12 hours, 27 minutes, and 12 seconds. You've got the Daytona 500 in real life. If you want to go and check it out, you can. Grandstands tickets for the 2025 Daytona 500 are sold out, but there are still ways that you can experience a great American race. For those looking to buy reserved ground seats for the Daytona 500, you can visit SeatGeek.com, the official ticket marketplace for NASCAR, and you can check out some of the experiences that are on pre-sale for next year's Daytona 500 already. The infield admission packages are out, the 31 degrees experience packages are out, Gold lot infield parking and the pre-fan zone are all out at the moment. So don't forget, get yourselves involved. If you want to head down to the Daytona 500, you can, but you're going to have to be quick and see if there's any spare tickets going. But you've got to go to SeatGeek.com there as well, where you will be able to buy tickets as well. It looks like a resale site, to be honest with you as well. So be a little bit careful on prices. Don't pay anything more than really you have to, because otherwise them little scalpers will make an absolute fortune out of you. So don't do that either. Be sensible with what you want to do. I know we all want to watch it, but it is on TV, so you can watch it there as well. Dustin Barton currently in qualifying on a 50.4 out in front at the moment here as well. So Dustin Barton there currently taking the pole position status. Not very long in qualifying, guys, so don't go anywhere. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself, to be blatantly honest here. Brad, Daytona is in conjunction with other tracks, a tri-oval based, right? And it is a bit of a beast here. If you're going into the Daytona 500 within iRacing, what words of advice would you give anyone?
Breathe, relax, and remember, it's going to sound cliche, but it's not about where you start. It's about where you finish. I will tell you, this track, as big as it looks in iRacing, it is big in real life. I got to go to the Rolex 24. I walked the infield. I was up in the grandstands, and the sheer magnitude of this track is shocking. And remembering that this is a large tri-oval when you're driving it. It's not a track that you're going to, run around in 15, 20, 30 seconds a lap like a lot of drivers are used to. This is a 50-second lap, and this is a track where every driver knows it. You need to just relax and be comfortable when you're driving. Don't focus on being up front the entire time. Keep your nose clean, keep out of trouble, and remember the big one's going to happen. Keep yourself in the right place at the right time, and remember that if something happens, at the end of the day, this is iRacing. It's not the biggest thing in the world to happen. So it's Daytona, guys. It's okay.
I do agree with you there as well. They have finished in qualifying there as well. Grid results will be on your screen. Dustin Barton is in pole with John Campbell in second, Josh Overmeyer in third, Jason Benson, Justin Haslett in fourth and fifth, then Al Corey, Thomas Haslett, Will Jester, Keith Hanlon, Matt Harmon, Ben Harcum, Alex Goff, Sean Bradley, Robert Freiberg, Anthony Sparaza, Ward Fisher, Derek Catt, John the OnlyFans Crutchley, Tyler Ruelas, John Barton, Mark Herzog, Aston Rice, Carl Cretch, Cameron Kane, Morris Bogan, and Grant Parker. I'm sure John's going to absolutely kill me for that one. I've got some trivia for you for Daytona here, Brad. Now, without using Google or any tools whatsoever, YouTube chat as well, who is the only driver within the last 10 years that has won Daytona more than once? Who is the only driver in the last 10 years to have won Daytona more than once? Let me know, guys. I'll give you 5 minutes to think about it here as well. But we have got a straight run to green here as well. We don't do stage breaks on a triple bypass. We don't need them. They're too skilled for that one. However, we do have 69 laps of fixed setups, 3 sets of tyres in the pits, 1 fast repair, 2 green white checkers, and the lucky dog and waiver rounds are on. I'll give you 5 minutes and then I'll come back with an answer there for that question. Who in the last 10 years has won Daytona more than once? And he is the only driver to do so here as well. So there we go. Right. Are you ready for this, Brad? Are you ready?
I'm always ready. However, I'm never ready. It's the bane of Daytona. It is. You can be as ready as you want for this thing, and then as soon as it rolls off, you just go, yeah, I didn't prepare near enough for this.
Right. They are rolling out of the pits. Neil Overmeyer, Denny. Yep. There's always one that spoils my trivia. Well done, Neil. Yeah, Denny Hamlin. He has won it 3 times in the last 10 years, and he's the only man to do so. And he's the only man to get back-to-backs as well. 2016, 2019, and 2020. So now, Neil, did you use Google to give you that answer? Obviously, I've got no proof sitting here either, so there we go. Right. Lights are off on the pace car. We're going to be rolling here as well with these front guys of JC, John Campbell, Dustin Barton up the front. Can they break away? That's going to be the question. Is it possible to break away at Daytona?
No. If you're in the front, no, there is no breakaway. You might get a pack to break away, but I don't think you're going to get a big breakaway here. I think it is truly going to be, if you're in the front, you need to be driving in the mirror. You don't need to be thinking about anything else. Just stay in your mirror and keep those guys behind. That is all you can do here.
Yeah, I do love Neil there. I Googled it with Bing.
Okay.
Fair one. Right. I
I'll
love
give him
your
credit
honesty,
on
Neil. He still did Google it. Right. Here we go. Pace car's going to peel in very, very shortly. The green lights are up. There's Barney. The strongest right hand in iRacing. Into the Geico restart zone we go. He is waving and we are up and running and we are green, green, green. Dustin Martin, John Campbell, Josh Overmeyer, Jason Benson, Hazlitt, Al Killicori, Jester, Thomas Hazlitt, and Hanlon and Harmon here as well. 2 banks of 2 so far, led away by Dustin Barton with John Campbell on the outside line. He's not really got a lot of help at the moment. He's just got Killicori, got him up right up behind. The number 42 of Benson there trying to push him along as well with Josh Overmeyer in the mix as well here. Coming to the wards, the back straight into turn 3. But at the moment, Brad, everyone away cleanly.
Yeah, everybody getting away very, very well there. Not a lot of hassle. Everybody just, I think they're keeping calm early on. Triple bypass is the league that I know these drivers have their heads together. They understand that it's a long, long 69 nice laps. So they are going to really keep calm on this first out lap. But Barton, up in that P1, knows that he is going to feel the pressure quick. And everybody behind is going to try to just settle in 2 by 2. They're going to try to keep it clean for a while. But James, as you know, you can only hold it together for so long. So let's just keep our eyes focused because something's going to happen somewhere.
No, I have complete and utter faith here as well. These guys will be able to make it through. As I say that, there was somebody dropping down to the apron there as well. It looks like he's in the Gravedigger livery, if I'm not mistaken. I wonder if that's Cameron Kane or Grant Parker towards the back there. 2 banks of 2. We're running now 2 lines. What we mean by that, Hanlon and Overmeyer, Benson, Hazlitt, Campbell and Hazlitt all battling away here as well. You can see them now. This is, if anybody wants to do the Daytona 500 within iRacing, this is how you run This one as well. My son had a go the other day. He did it yesterday. In fact, he started at 9 p.m. and he finished at 1 a.m. Let's just say there was a bunch of cautions for him. He started at the back and he finished 16th, I believe. He finished overall a few laps back there as well. He had Dad spotting for him, screaming at him, going, go. So there you go. As well, my poor boy. But he did really well. He only got a 6x through the whole 200 laps, Brad.
For 200 laps, only to get 6x, that's impressive because I can pick up a 6x on lap 1. So, you've got to be very, very together and good. So kudos to him for that, because that is not something that I could manage to pull off at all.
Yeah, and he got that 6x after, he got 2x after lap 100. He had a 4x after lap 10. So there we go. But Josh Overmeyer winning here as well, out in 4th place with Campbell, Benson and Hanlett. This is how you run this. You stay in your banks of 2. You don't make anything silly. Use the bump draft where you possibly can. But one of the rules of NASCAR, don't bump draft in the corners, because you will end up spinning somebody out here as well. So you've got to be mindful of what you're doing. We go on to the bonnet of Overmeyer. Now he's up behind the 55 of Hanlon. He needs to lock up coming out of this corner before he gets into the try. A little bit of a bump before we go in. Go on, Josh. Nope. Slight little lift there as well. Now we're going into the try. Is he going to be able to bump him before we get into one? Nope, I don't believe he is here as well. He just needs to settle in as that outside line still moving alongside. Push him up as much as he possibly dares here as well, Brad. I think that's the thing, isn't it? Staying in this line. You've got a long race. You've got 69 minutes technically if you go from checkered to green. And if they manage to do that, I'll be well impressed. And there we go. Unfortunately for John, the OnlyFans Crutchley, he's gone off the side of the circuit there as well. His car does look like damaged. He's in the bus stop part of the circuit. He has got bent steering, I think, as well. The front left almost looks like he's off the ground there, and he is off the ground as well. So he's going to have to go in and use one fast repair here once more. So unfortunately for John Crutchley, he is in the pits back up front. Benson and Hanlon, this is how it happened. There was contact from behind, I believe, as well, unfortunately for him. There he goes. He takes the bump from behind, and it looks like he has almost chuffed his suspension on that one there as well. No yellows. He's well off the racing line. He's on that infield section at the moment. We'll bring the track map up on the right-hand corner under the JPB logo there, so you will be able to see where everybody is. You can see at the moment the 24 Crutchley is going into turn 1. The 25 of Bogan coming around the tri-oval. Then you've got 22 and 23, which is Cat and Rice in 22nd and 23rd. They've already lost the draft as well. They're dropping off the back end now as well here. The draft is vitally important, Brad. They've got to remember that they cannot lose the draft at all cost.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in the fact that Rice and Cat lost the draft, because I don't know what really happened to cause them to drop back the way they have, but it essentially ruins your race. If you lose the draft here, it genuinely will ruin your race, because the draft is 10 miles an hour faster easily. So the more you stick in that pack, the more of a draft you can get. But the issue becomes you're asking these race car drivers, these great triple bypass drivers, to just stay relaxed in a pack. And you can even see them on the backstretch. They're starting to look around. They're thinking about how can they break away and start to move forward. And that's how things like what happened to Mr. OF Crutchley there. That's how you end up with drivers on the inside wall. Because everybody gets antsy in one front bumper, rear bumper coming together, it just cost you.
Yeah, I do like the fact that you put OF there. They're too afraid to say the word here. That was a little bit of a shared joke going on in the Triple Bypass community Discord earlier on with John Crutchley there as well. There is a blinker. That's never going to work. If you are blinking in that middle, I don't think it's JC. I think it's Hanlon, or possibly even, it's not Corey. Corey's on the high side. It's the 22 there as well. That is Overmeyer. Has got a little bit of a blink on, Neil. Go and sort the internet out there, sir, because if he carries on like that, it is going to cause absolute chaos as well. And then going back to my boys' race, he had somebody in that was blinking all over the place. The guy actually caused 5 wrecks throughout of that Daytona 200 because his internet was just blinking in and out. It was absolutely insane. I've never seen anybody do so many flips and battle flips up in the air, Brad. It was absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, that's the other fun thing of sim racing is when the internet decides to not want to work, that is when you get problems. And the one thing I can tell you is every one of these drivers, when someone's blinking, they're going to be on the horn. They're going to be yelling. They're going to be telling them, hey, you're blinking, get off the track, because that is the quickest way to ruin everybody in the lobby's races. You randomly pop off, and then iRacing calculates and says, well, he should be here, and a car goes spearing off, wrecks the whole field, and then he pops up a corner later just perfectly fine going, hey, where'd everybody go?
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing, I think, as well. Everybody, mind you, everybody was in voice chat telling this guy that he was blinking like absolute crazy. And he probably didn't even have voice chat on because whatever it was, he didn't hear him. But he did manage to cause 5 wrecks, I think it was, throughout the whole 200 laps just of him disappearing. I did tell my boy, push up on the outside past him, give it as wide berth as you can to the wall, and then just join up to the guy in front and push the guy past him. And he did that as well, just to try and move away from the guy with the flashing internet here as well. We've got a lot of still in the pack there, so a lot of people still bunching out. We've still got Barton involved in the mix, Dustin Barton as well, Freiberg, Kane, little bit of flips with Ruelas bunched in there as well. We've got our famous Australian JC John Campbell, he's in the Krispy Kreme. One of the things I am noticing here as well, and I noticed it last night watching my boy, is they don't keep directly straight, do they? They don't stay straight. If we catch them at the front of this pack, you'll see there's a lot of weaving and wiggling. It's only a foot. Look, you can see it there. There's only a foot, say left or right, but they're not straight, which I find quite bizarre at the moment because sometimes it's easier to stay straight than it is quite kind of keep wiggling backwards and forwards.
Yeah, I think some of that comes down to the drivers trying to cool the car. One of the things about the draft is if you're the car in front, you've got all the fresh air. But if you're, the number 22, the number 117, the 45, the 027, you're just breathing in the exhaust of the car ahead. You're in that draft. You're getting the benefits of that draft, but you are not getting any clean air into the radiator of that stock car. And that's going to produce issues for overheating. And yes, in iRacing, you can blow up your engine from overheating. I promise you that. Not saying I've done it from personal experience, just saying I've done it from personal experience. And yellow flag is out here. And it looks
John Barton.
Yeah, John Barton. We'll catch a quick replay of that here for you. Oh.
We'll see if we can get the replay camera on TV1 and then we'll go and show you the replay because then we can have a look. Oh, there he is. 68, unfortunately for John. Around he goes on lap 12. And there's somebody in the background there. There's a couple there. The 816 and the 43. That's Barraza and Parker. Also looking like they've got caught up in that incident to start off with. But it does look like Barton is the main protagonist that kicked it off. One caution to the deep here as well. Whoa! And Cameron Kane got whipped in it here at the same time. Poor old Cameron Kane. We've got Ward Fisher, Sparaza, Parker, and Freiberg all in the pits at the moment here. And we've got, where is the Nodge? Is the Nodge Mr. Crutchley about, or is he in the pit lane?
There he is. He is out, it looks like, on the exit of 2. Catch him back up with the pack. He didn't go in the pits.
He did?
He did not.
No, he didn't. All right, okay. I was going to have a quick chat with him, but he's not here. And I'll tell you what we'll do as well then. We'll have a quick chat with our resident conversationalist, the man who could only be deemed as the Terminator, Mr. Al Corey. Al, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
I'm well, James. How are you?
Very well, thank you very much, sir. Loving being back here at Daytona. What's it like outside on the circuit?
Well, I'm in an unusual spot that I'm in near the front right now, which is 8 atypical. I usually hang out in the back, so it's a little bit more nerve-wracking.
How do you cope with that? Because you're right. You're used to running towards the mid-pack. How do you cope with sitting up the front all of a sudden? Are you wary of what you're doing? You're wary of your movements? You're wary of your inputs a lot more?
Just really try to be calm, breathe nice and slow and deep and not overreact to every move. Like, you can get really twitchy here if you start reacting to every car's movements on the track. So you sort of have to smooth everything out and not react to everything, but at the same time be ready to react if something big happens. So it's staying calm in a pack is really the key, I think.
Okay, and where do we see you, dear sir? Where am I going to say congratulations? How you finished? Where do you think?
No, this is a super speedway, so I will definitely be wrecked out before the end and not finish the race.
You have little confidence in your ability, Mr. Corey, don't you?
Yeah, you'd need a notebook for the number of keep records of the number of times I've been wrecked out in a super speedway race. So I have the right to feel that way.
Well, okay. Well, I'll give you that one there as well. But let's hope you don't, dear sir, because I only put 2 cautions down on my bit of paper earlier on, and we're on 1 already. So please don't cause another one. But Al, good luck to you, buddy. Look forward to seeing where you end up as you're running at the front. So have a good one, mate, and enjoy yourself.
Thanks. Shout out to TB Broadcasting. Appreciate you.
There you go. Take care. Well, there you go. That is Mr. Al Corey, who is here as well. So well done, Al, running up the front, as he said. Brad, used to running down in the mid-pack and the back.
I don't buy that. He's a good driver. Al Corey is a good driver, so him saying, I'm going to be wrecked out of this, I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second. If he gets wrecked out of this,
You what?
It's not gonna be a case of bad luck. It's gonna be. See, now I've put myself in a pickle because if I say what I'm thinking, no, I can't say that. Never mind. Well, I'm rooting for Al Corey to win this one just so I could say I told you so at the end of this race. How about that?
All right, okay. Well, we'll give you that one there as well as we're approaching lap 15, I believe. Let's pick up on Tyler Ruelas, who is on the front. If I'm not mistaken, pace car lights are out this time as they're coming out of 2 before we get up and green once more. I can tell you, let's ask the audience at home the next JPB Daytona 500 champion question. Who was the first winner and in what year of the Daytona 500? Who was the winner and what year was who was the winner of the first Daytona 500 and what year was it? So there you go. A little bit of trivia for you. Stay off Google if you dare, Mr. Neil Wavermeyer. So there we go. Do you know the answer to that one, Brad?
Not a bit. I think the first race was, I want to say 1953, though.
Okay.
I don't know who won it, but I want to say it was in 53.
Ooh. Give you a couple of minutes here as well as we are coming round to get this going again for the Driver Appreciation 69, sponsored by our very own Brian Cooper here as well. We're going to have the pleasure of coming into the booth with me as well. I need to write down the date. He messaged me a date the other day and I completely forgot to write it down. I think it's April here as well, but we're up and going and we're green. Ruelas has bolted a long way before it even got into the start zone there as well. Tyler Ruelas out in front with Derek Catt. He's not going to hold on to that draft. However, I do love Derek Catt's livery there as well. That is Greg Digger. I did have the privilege of watching the Monster Jam over in the UK at Cardiff Millennium Stadium there as well, and it was an absolutely insane day out. I got to meet all the drivers here as well. Ruelas is gone. He's off to... Don't. Gently. Good boy. Can we go on board? Can we go in the cockpit with him? Because I got a funny feeling his steering is not in the right direction.
Absolutely. Let's look here from the cockpit.
Because he looked very, very twitchy holding on to that car. And I think if he's straight... Oh, he is bent.
Way off.
Yeah. He is definitely bent here as well. So, yeah, it's not ideal. So there we go for Tyler Ruelas here as well. We'll keep handling Justin Hazlitt still out in front at the moment as well here. We've had a guess in YouTube chat. Ricky Bobby, you are not correct, dear sir. So these guys are fighting it out once more as they're going along. We've got Hazlitt kicking it off here as well. We'll show you the gap times in the tower on the left-hand side very, very shortly, so you see how far between each other they are. There you go. You've not got a lot of time here between them, and there is a kind of movement on the 27. That's Justin Hazlitt. God, I get so used to saying his name at the front of the grid here because he's at the front, Brad, so many times.
Yeah, Justin Hazlitt really knows how to find his way forward and put himself in a good place at a very good time. Of course, we're only lap 18 of 69, and so there's still plenty of time for them to shuffle around a bit more and for things to happen. But Hazlitt, Corey, Benson, Hanlon are all in good places. They're nice, calm, relaxed, and they're holding on there. I mean, I can't say the same thing about other drivers on that restart, but for the most part, the front of this grid is really, really calm.
Yeah, they are. They're just rolling around at the moment, knocking off laps. Al Corey now taking up the whole shot here. How much longer can he stay up this end as well? Tyres not really going to be too much of an issue here for these guys as well. They do have 3 tyre sets, but I don't see it being an overly issue here on 69. I think fuel might be more of a problem here than they have got on tyres. So keep an eye out for this one here as well. It's going to be very, very interesting. The development tyres on a super speedway, not as important as, for instance, if we were at Bristol.
Yeah, that is true. The biggest issue you get with super speedways, we've covered it a bunch, is the draft and fuel. It's truly going to be a case of who here at the end of 69 laps has calculated their fuel out, because the draft basically negates any sort of tire wear issues that you're going to see. You don't have big issues in that regard. It is truly who saves enough fuel to make it to the end and who gets things right in terms of just being in the right place at the right time. I can't stress enough being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I do fully agree with you on that one. Right, the answer to the JPB trivia quiz, and it was Lee Petty in 1959 was the first Daytona 500 champion, was Lee Petty in 1959. So there we go. Here once more trivia. And I do love the 1962 Daytona 500 winner's name, Fireball Roberts. Oh, so manly. As well as the old Fireball took the victory there as well. But it was Lee Petty on this one in 1959, won the first Daytona 500 here as well. And lap 20 of 69 is Benson, Bradley and Corey, your top 3 at the moment, with Overmeyer, Hazlitt, Herzog and Hanlon all battling it out here as well. There's people towards the end that are just about hanging on to this draft. And I think it's down Cameron Kane, Alex Goff area. As I see it, we can pick up on them. Yeah, they're just hanging on. There's a little couple behind that as well. So there they are. The number 75 car of Hazlitt. Thomas Hazlitt, mind you, over the 037 of Cameron Kane. They were just hanging on to the draft there. And now they seem to be back in once more. If Mr. Cameron Kane, of course, can catch up. That's Alex Goff in the 00 pink machine there as well. He's in the Ford. We've got a Chevy up front. A Chevy triple at the front of the grid at the moment, Brad.
Yeah, and one of the big things to remember, too, with these drivers is we get a nice overhead shot of just how close they are. You can see top 18 drivers separated by just over a second here. The big thing to remember with the cars is if they lose the draft a little bit, they can connect together and get their way back forward, like we just watched Kane and Hazlitt do there. They connected up and caught back up to that back edge of the pack to get right back in the draft. And for them, that gives them the opportunity to get back in the mix of things. Just because you fall down on lap 22 of 69 and you find yourself back in 20th place doesn't mean it's game over. There's been drivers that have came back from P20 with 5 laps to go to win the Daytona 500. That's the fun of the super speedways. You don't need to be in the front the whole time. You can go from last to first in just a handful of laps.
I think if that's probably the best advice you can give to anybody who's going to run the Daytona 500 this week. You don't need to qualify, and I say that in the best possible way. You don't need to qualify. As long as you're sensible, you can get through the pack. There is always wrecks in the officials, and that's without a shadow of a doubt there as well. And I was telling my boy that last night because he was like, "Oh, Dad, I'm not even nowhere near the front. I'm laps down." I was like, "Mate, you've only got a 4X, just carry on. You might be 5 laps down, but you're still going to gain SR and IR, which is, of course, one of the main battles when you're going for it in the Daytona 500 as well." I said, you don't need to be at the front. You can just chill and do it. And he did. He gained an absolute bunch of IR and SR last night as well, just purely because he just carried on and listened to Dad, who has watched bucket loads of NASCAR. So there you go. So don't start from the front. You don't have to, because you're more likely to be in a wreck from that mid-pack downwards there as well. I think that's one of the things, isn't it, Brad, when you're doing anything like this as well, you've either got to qualify right at the front and be that pole man, or you've got to qualify right at the back, because if you're in the mid-pack, you're in trouble. JC John Campbell's 3 wide at the moment. He is 3 wide there as well. He had the number 13 right up behind him. That was Dustin Barton in the middle between him and Bogan as well. So Barton trying to make his way through fields. I wouldn't necessarily say 3 wide though, Brad, on lap 25 is a good idea.
Yeah, no, it's way too early to be making any moves like that. It is entirely too early for them to be thinking about that. They need to just keep holding this pack line and settle down. I think trying to make that 3 wide move so early is just asking for disaster here. And you can see Campbell, I mean, he's got a run, he's got speed. If he wanted to, he could try to put a nose up the middle here between the 55 and 57. He could try to make a move forward, but you're not going to get anywhere. And what's worse is if nobody goes with you, you're falling all the way to the back of the pack, and then you're going to have more issues. So just hold on, and if you've got a group of guys that'll go with them, but don't try to be the one-man army right now. That does not work here.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't. There's no point on the dash of Campbell. You can see in front of us at the moment, that is the 55 of Hanlon there as well. Mark Herzog's got a different style of the in-and-out burger he normally runs. It's normally yellow with the white. We've got white with the yellow here this evening as well. Bogan in that famous black Nike liveried machine on the right-hand side of us here as well. And then we've got the Ghost Citrus machine in front, who, mind you, took a little bit too much of the apron there and nearly put himself in danger. You don't want to be doing it. This pack are just running around quite nicely. Then we've got John Barton. He's in front of a pack as well, down in 19th at the moment, as John is got literally Ward Fisher, Parker, Freiberg and Rice right up behind him as well. So we've got 1 to 17, then we've got 1 to 18, sorry, and then we've got 19 a little bit further back there. So again, they've got to be mindful of what's going on, because trust me, this can go from a group of 19 to a group of 5 very, very fast here, Brad.
Yeah, and the big thing here as we watch, the drivers coming through, you've got this second group here of 6 cars. It's right in the middle, and you can't count them out. If these 6 guys will just line up single file and go, they can catch back up to that front pack. And I know you're saying it's 11 seconds at Daytona. What do you mean they catch up to the front? I mean, they'll do it real quick. Sean Bradley having a quick off track there. We'll see if we can catch what happened to him there. And he is way off the track coming back in there. We'll have to see what happened to him here in just a moment.
Yeah, I think the problem is now for Bradley, he's going to get caught by the Crutchley group, right? And that's the thing. The problem is they're not working together. Crutchley, Fisher, they are now, but when we were on them the first time, the 68 machine there, or the 65, sorry, of Aston, right, is it 68? He's got 68, yeah, John Barton. Look, you can see where Barton is, and I don't quite get what they need to do. These cars, these 6, link up to each other. Just follow each other, push each other, just get going, and you will make gains, but you've got to do it sensibly. These are all experienced drivers. This is what I don't get. They're all experienced, and running 2 lines of 2 or 2 lines of 2 and a 4 isn't the most efficient way of moving forward. I'm a little bit confused here why they would be doing this when they're this far back. I think for me that doesn't work.
This is the case when you're a driver. You need to put your ego to the side, and you need to just settle in and say, you know what, I'll get better progress if I move forward now than I will. Because here's the thing, we're lap 29 and 69. You're not making any progress right here. You're losing time. Look at that. The gap's already down to 15 seconds on the lead pack. So they need to link things up, move things forward. Because the thing is, yeah, cool, I finished P18. I finished ahead of some guys, but I could have finished P5 if I had just, linked up with the cars ahead. So these guys back in the back, I mean, they're not going to find any success back there when they could be up in this front pack battling around.
I think that's the thing. They've got to be using their brain. They've got to use their brain. And I know that's not always easy. And I'm a fine one to talk. I'm sat up here in the booth, you know what I mean? And I just talk a good game. Whether or not on Saturday when I drive the 500, I could drive a good game as well. But I think for me, it's just all about being sensible, being realistic of the goals. I'm not going into the 500 to think, I'm going to go and win it. I'm going into the 500 to think I'm going to survive, because I think my mindset of watching the guys here from Triple Bypass, the BSC, SRN, and a load of other NASCAR series that I do, is you pick up bits of every single driver and learn every single thing. I was speaking to one of the Haslets, I think it was Josh the other day, who mentioned about the string theory. And when I was doing Dega, I was concentrating on where my inputs were. I was concentrating on the string theory of, okay, so if I'm rotating here, when would my steering pull back and stuff like that? And you pick up bits like this when you're driving. And it is, the more you drive, the more you listen, the more you watch, the more experience mentally you gain without actually having to be in the car.
Yeah, and string theory is a good point to think about when you're in these cars. Like it all makes a lot of sense. You can see here the number 13. I've been focusing on him because he is having a hard time with some card control. I've seen him wiggle quite a few times here, and I'm starting to get a little worried about him. But driving these cars is not easy. That's the thing. Like, no offense, James, but a lot of Europeans I've talked to, when I talk to them about NASCAR, they go, "What do you mean? It's just turning left." And I'm like, no, mate, there's so much more to it than that.
Yeah. I think that's the problem, where people realize it. I was sat watching it. They were rerunning the Clash at the Coliseum, and I was sat watching it. And, you can see, like, the wife's face was like, what's this? They're going around in a circle. I'm like, yeah, but what's the bump push in the corners? Oh, he's going to send it up the freeway. Oh, Bogan! Oh, Bogan! Oh, man. Who was in with that one? I think it was Bogan, Harcum, Herzog as well. We'll try and catch the replay of that one very, very shortly. Oh, we need to kind of press the rewind button.
Yeah, that
as well.
I hate doing this.
I know. We hate doing this, but sometimes it's the only way we're going to get back to where it actually went on. If you focus on Maurice Bogan here, Brad, you'll see that Bogan has had a little bit of an issue. There it is. It's already taken place. Yeah, we need to jump on Bogan just a little bit earlier as well. If need be, we can just go back.
Bogan here. I hate doing this. This is the fun of learning how to do this.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all a learning curve. And at the end of the day, as anyone says, if you don't do it, you ain't going to get time there as well. There is Bogan. And we'll watch this contact coming in. That's Herzog on the inside, on the in and out. And I've got a funny feeling Bogan's going to come down on him. Oh, Herzog went up.
Yeah, Herzog went up. That wasn't...
He went up. It wasn't
how
all
I
Bogan.
expected that.
No. There we go. Herzog went up onto Bogan now. He just drifted up. He didn't keep that inside line. And on lap, what are we on at the moment? That was lap 32, I believe, here as well. We have got caution number 2, Bogan and Herzog there. And then everybody's in. Here's the rush, the storm of the light brigade here as well. And now this is where it's all going to happen. Thomas, Sticky Fingers 42, says Benson. No, he weren't involved in this one, unfortunately for him. There, Mr. Our very own there. He was not involved. That was Mr. Benson there as well. Thomas Hood, some people have a hard time drafting together. I struggle with it upon occasion. I think for me, it's knowing, Thomas, when I need to make a move and when I really don't. And I think a lot of it, and I know I'm going back to my boy again, but even last night, he got over, he was lapped and we caught up to the 8th guy in 8th position. And he was like, Dad, I'm faster than him. I was like, yeah, mate, but you don't need to go anywhere. This guy's in 8th. He will pull you forward. Just literally sit behind him and follow him. And then when you're on the straightaway, give him a little bit of a bump, back away at the corners. Go again at the tri-oval if you can get him, back away. And that's the thing, isn't it, Brad? It's learning. For him, it was like a mass learning curve last night because he was more trying to get forward than rather trying to progress with somebody else. And I tried to explain to him the draft as well, but as you say, he's 13. He turned 13 on Valentine's Day, bless him. It's not exactly an easy process, is it?
Yeah, it's not. And the thing is, it does come with experience. And sometimes it's just getting in the car and learning it is really what you've got to do. It's really becomes that moment where I can sit and explain it all day, but sometimes you just have to feel it and experience it for everything to click. And then the words that you've said are going to go with what I'm doing. And everyone's going to go, oh, this makes sense. This is what I'm trying to do here. So it gets challenging, especially to people unfamiliar. So, and you have to overcome that natural instinct to want to just shoot forward. Every driver has that natural instinct, James. You and I can attest. Every driver wants to just move forward. And it's hard to get yourself to stop and think, okay, if I draft with this guy, I can move forward further better than the, ooga booga, I fast, I go ahead mentality. A lot of racers have.
That's the thing, isn't it? I think a lot of mentality, you can have that in road racing. You can't have that in ovals. You're not going to go anywhere, especially on a super speedway. And that was the thing. We spent a lot of time last night. I spent about 15 minutes explaining to him why. Just follow the line. The guy's running the yellow line. Just follow him. Just follow him and follow him and follow him, because you're not going to get anywhere there either. You're just staying behind someone. You're making it go faster. And he was, because at one point he was on his own and I think he was maxing out at like 175. And then we put him in the draft with this guy and he was doing like 185, 189. So it makes more sense. And that's the thing. It's so hard here for some people to learn. I'm comfortable with some, then others are erratic and can't stay straight. Some people just have good chemistry. Yeah, and I think that's the thing. A lot of it is knowing how to be bumped as well as being able to bump, which may sound easy, right? You just hit the guy up the bum and push him a little bit. But it doesn't work like that when the guy in front weaves all of a sudden as you go in for a bump, and then you catch his right or left side and he spins off right or left, causing a big massive accident because he'll blame you, even though it was him weaving around. It's a very fine line between knowing when, knowing how, and knowing how to be bumped. That's the thing here as well. But let's get this back up and running again. We are coming around now, lap 35 of 69. We're halfway through now as well, and at the moment Justin Hazlitt, no surprise, but our killer Corey still in second here, up 4 places. Absolutely stellar job running up the front of the field here. Pace car goes in once more there as well. Now we're going to be into that Geico restart zone. There's the jump from Hazlitt. He went as soon as he got in there, and he has gone. Corey settled in behind him. Great move from Corey to cover that inside off straight away there, Brad. He didn't give anybody a chance to deal with that.
Yeah, he was not messing around. He did not want to think about what's going on behind him. And of course, the good thing about the start at Daytona, everybody takes a second to get the run up. It's going to be the entry to 3 before these drivers really get going. But Hazlitt knows he needs to get ahead real quick. And the fun of being in the lead, you get to determine when you get going. But then also, you also might find yourself caught out and lost, as he is here on the inside right now.
Yeah, it looks like there somebody else has lost as well. We're 3 wide further back behind that as well. Benson's gone and settled back in behind Corey. Here, there's the 74 car. That is Will Jester, who's having a little bit of a blink at the moment as well. And I don't often see this in YouTube chat for an Englishman on a NASCAR race, but Thomas Hood said, "Yepers, spot on, JP." Oh, I'm going to take that one, Thomas, and stick it in my pocket, son.
It's fun having you on comms, James, because the thing is you enjoy NASCAR and it makes it more fun. But yes, Englishman enjoying NASCAR, it's a little bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. It's taken me some getting used to myself.
Hey, mate, I've been turned down for leagues broadcasting because I'm an Englishman on NASCAR and they didn't like it. So, there we go. That's how fickle some people can be here as well. With the fact it's got to be an American on NASCAR. It hasn't. It's just got to be somebody who knows what they're talking about and somebody who enjoys the racing. I can tell you what, Bogan, get in that low line now, because if you hang out 3 wide, you are going to be strung out like my missus hanging out my dirty trousers. I can tell you that much, son. So you want to be careful there as well. Be very mindful of where you are. Corey still settling in his second. Goff in there as well. Benson, Overmeyer is in there. Barton, Hazlitt, Bradley, all battling around. Bogan's making big old moves here. I don't know quite sure where he's trying to go. We're looking back from Hazlitt. There is the Camaro of Killer Corey with his famous Canadian. I'm not quite sure why he's got Canada on his helmet here when he's definitely an American. So that could be an interesting one here as well, as we give him a little bit of a bump looking back over the Canadian tire machine here of Al Corey. We can see the Hubba Bubba. Oh, Hubba Bubba, what that was like as a kid, blowing bubbles and getting stuck on your nose because it blew up in your face, of Alex Goff from the Sticky Fingers Motorsport there as well. Quite a livery to match the team name, I think, there as well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I do want to point out that Alex Goff is up 10 places. So just kind of going back and forth about what we've talked about basically all race long is don't focus so much about, where we're at right now on lap 39, because he's found himself all the way up forward. And at one point, I remember he was back broken out of this pack, I think running with that second group.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, with this, you've just got to think about where you are. Stay with the pack. Sparaza trying to move on to that bottom lane further back as well. Now Hazlitt takes up the pressure of the bottom lane. He gets in front of Goff. Is Corey going to be able to get up there with a Benson push here as well? They need to get that outside line, run as close as you can to get the side draft. Believe it or not, they can get draft off the wall if they're running closer enough, but they're just not at the moment. Hazlitt's come back up. He's thrown the block in front of Corey. Corey's going to try and string him out 3 wide at the moment. He needs his second lane push. Hazlitt manages to get back in. I can tell you what, Hazlitt was in danger for a brief moment there, because if he'd gone 3 wide on that outside wall and that second lane had come up the inside, he would have gone back down the order.
For lap 40 is 69 here, James, and I think at this point all the drivers kind of understand where they're finding themselves. They understand sort of where they're sitting at, so the thing that they need to do is just breathe a little bit. That Hazlitt dropping low there, trying to get around Overmine. They need to breathe. They're starting to get antsy. Everybody's starting to get cooped up. They understand we're lap 40 of 69. We're going to start seeing people get brave, look for that middle line, look for that 3 wide, try to find who their friends are that are going to be willing to take the push forward. And with that risk is going to come some danger, some damage. And I have a feeling we're going to have another caution before this is all said and done.
Well, let's see here as well, as the 22 of Overmire once more gets a little bit of an internet spike there as well. Neil, get on the internet, son. You're spiking all over the place. Help him out once more here. There's movements in the middle as well. That's Barton trying to stick his nose up, trying to make it 3 wide. He's not at the moment with 2 cautions in, and we've only got, believe it or not, 28 laps remaining. This is going to be over within the half hour if we run green all the way through here. Great job from these guys as they're coming round. There you go, rushing round us in turn 4 into the tri-oval. There's another blinker at the back there as well. It looks like a couple of people here, Brad, and a brief little internet issue.
Yeah, it's the danger of things. You have to watch your internet, and if your internet's not working, I mean, I hate to tell you, but sometimes it's better to call it and just be careful. But that's the unfortunate thing with sim racing. You've got people all over the world. We have an Englishman commentating. We got a guy from the South commentating. Don't we have an Australian in the server and a couple Canadians too? I mean, you've got people all over the world running right now.
Yeah. I tell you what, Corey made a big old jump down into that inside lane there. He was full in danger of sticking it in front of somebody. He managed to get away with it here, Brad. It's always tough, as you say, when you're running with so many multinational people all around the world. And we know everybody's internet's different, right? I don't have fiber. JC don't have fiber. So it's always difficult, but it's just maximizing what you've got here at the same time to get this running once more here as well. So, yeah, difficult one for everybody, Brad, but they're running well at the moment, and we're on lap 43.
Yeah, lap 43 is 69 here, and you can see a little bit of patience there. Some people still getting a little loose. We still have people trying to look for that 3 wide spot. That's the number, who is that? Benson trying to look 3 wide? Yeah, Benson taking it 3 wide there, making it work. Up the middle there, he's got the friend of the number 13 of Barton. They take it 3 wide. Back in the back, we've still got 3 wide here. And who is that? That's the 027. You can see he's hung out to dry. That is Hazlitt. Hazlitt has no friends, so he is going to be on the high line and just dropping back on and on and on. And we'll see just how far back he drops. And he is going to find himself all the way back in P10. And he's been running up, competing for the lead. So again, if you don't have friends to jump in that draft with you, you're going to just fall back. And there is nothing you can do. But sometimes that's what the drivers want to do. They want to get out of the chaos of the front, and they want to just settle in here in the mid-pack for a little bit. But you can see he still wants to make that high line work. And it's not going to work, man. Just settle back into that line. Just hold 2 wide. You're going to fall further back now. And who is that? Somebody going off. That's the 22 around the 00. Another caution here.
Oh, Goff was involved. That is what we can class as the big one. Look at them cars.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, well, good luck, Brad, finding where that started.
That is indeed what we call a big one, and I am going to go ahead and tell you right here that Alex Goff was in the mix, Joshua Overmeyer was in the mix. Let's see if we can catch right where this started. Right there up in the front, the number 13 gets a little loose, and the 00 catches him, and then from there, it's gone at that point. 22.
Bogan on the 22 as well.
I mean, yeah, there was nothing you could do there. And then, man,
JC.
That's the whole field involved almost. Look at this.
Yeah, Goff up into Benson. It was at the number 13 there as well, and then everybody else just piles in. You've got cars everywhere. Cat goes in as well in the 01, unfortunately for him, and then we've got the 65 in the mix altogether. That's Rice. Then the 37 making contact as he's trying to weave through as well. John, the only fan, Crutchley, is in 13th at the moment. He sat there and just basically hit the brakes and stopped here as well. Makes me anxious when they're all bunched up. Well, we've just seen the result of that one.
Yeah,
JC drops, then he comes up, just takes off the rear bumper. Then if you keep an eye on Crutchley, he just literally stops in the middle of the track and just waits. Look at him on that high line. He's just stopped there. He's trying to pick his way through. He's trying to do it sensibly as well, and a stellar job from Crutchley there. Now you're up and running, buddy. Off you go. The track's clear, and one more for all of these guys. So a great job for Crutchley to try and avoid that one there as well. I can see Carl Gretsch in the driver's chat, but he's not out on track at the moment. I wonder if he's running RC. Let's see if Mr. Carl Gretsch will come and have a wonderful chat with me. Carl, are you here? No, that's unfortunately not, James. Can we pick up on Alex Goff for me?
Yeah,
let's see.
Find out. There he is.
Yeah, I don't want to upset the man by getting him in here as well, but let's give him a minute, see if he goes in. I believe the pit lane would have been opened up. Goff's dropped down now. Is he going to stay out or is he going to go into the pits? Let's see if we can have a quick chat with a man in the Hubba Bubba Pink Machine here as well, of the one, the only Alex Goff, repping the Sticky Fingers Motorsport. Alex, welcome in, buddy. How are you getting on out there, bud?
Hey, it's going.
Well, you definitely went there, didn't you?
Yeah, that was a bit of a ride. I'm not sure what happened. I think Dustin got a little squirrely in front of me, and I tried to check up. I got into him a little bit, and then I tried to go high to give him some space, and I don't think the guys behind me could check up.
No, I think the problem was I think Dustin went. He did get a little bit squirrely, but then he come back up in front of you, and unfortunately, you literally just tapped him, and then you kind of moved out the way, and then it all just went a little bit Pete Tong after that for you, sir, as well. But we know it's a super speedway. We know it's going to happen again. What do we think your chances are of getting up in the top 5?
I think the chances are pretty good. I got a fresh car. Fast repair is always helpful. So I might hang out here at the back for another 10 or so laps and try to hop on the outside, maybe make it 3 wide and get up there.
Maybe make it 3 wide. That's never a good idea, dear. So do we not think? What do we reckon? The last 10's got to be the main point, isn't it? Surely you've got to be looking at making moves in the last 10.
Yeah, but I also think the cautions aren't over yet. So I could pick up a couple spots there, and if I find myself up there in top 10, then yeah, I think that 5 lap to go marks the time to go.
All right, Bob. Well, good luck to you, Alex. I hope it turns out for you here well, buddy. And 23 to go. Let's see how far you can get.
Thank you. We'll try.
Okay. Well, there you go, Brad, as well. Fairly upbeat, Alex Goff, to be fair, considering of what he's just been through.
I was going to say, considering Alex Goff just basically got obliterated, I'm kind of surprised to see him in such good spirits, but it's good to see that he is, because it means that he knows that this race is not over. That's the sign that the driver knows the race is not over. There's still plenty of time to go, and he is determined to move his way forward. So I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
Well, we've got Neil in chat, of course. Neil over my here as well. Cox Internet, 10 out of 10, do not recommend. So I'm guessing that's who they have got there as well for Josh. And Tyler Ruelas, well, that's my race engine blown. Oh, dearie me. Never good on an engine blown here as well. Pace car lights are out. We're back on board with Barney as he's here with the green flag. They're going to hit that Geico restart zone. The pace car peels off to the left-hand side. Now we've got Benson. Now we've got Corey. Now we've got the green flag. Now we've got the drop. Now we've got Barney. And now we are green, green, green. Here is Super Speedway Daytona as we battle it out once more. Corey's left out a little bit on his own here. There was a big check up behind there on the 75 car. That was Thomas Hazlitt with Herzog behind him. A Bogan nearly sent both of them wide. Then we've got then we've got John behind them there as well. Mr. Crutchley in the back is sitting in 13th at the moment. But Al Corey got kind of a little bit hung out there, Brad. He went and nobody went with him.
Yeah, Al Corey he's motivated to make moves. I mean, look at him. He's trying to take it 3 wide. He's trying to encourage everything, but he's doing it too much too soon. Just settle in, bud. Give it another 12 laps. 10 to go. You heard the man. You heard Alex Goff. 10 to go. And then you want to send it. Then you want to try it. Give it some time, man. Just breathe.
Well, I like to say one man who is going to have loads of time to breathe here as well is Ward Fisher. He is in that number 22 machine, just coming out of 2. He's got this pack gangling down on him here as well. And unfortunately for Ward Fisher in that number 22, the red car on your track map at the top right-hand corner, he looks like he is going to get eaten here as well. All he's got to do is decide which way he's going to go and make it easy as possible in that 84 machine. Then he's free to latch on to the back. If he is the first man down here as well, which I believe he is at the moment, if another caution does come out, he should get the lucky dog and the wave around and the job done. But here they come. Ward Fisher, the Gazelle, the Pack, the Lions, and they're sweeping down on Ward Fisher here as well.
Oh, yeah. The pack is coming quick, and here is going to be the question. You said it yourself. What do you do in this situation? Where does he go? What does he do to stay absolutely out of the way? Or is he going to try to latch on? He is a driver that I do not want to be. I do not want to be in his situation. I don't want to be involved, but you can see he is coming right up here in the mix. He's going to go to the high line, and look at this. The whole pack is going to have to just go around him here. I mean, this is... Oh, I don't want to be in his shoes right now.
I would run it around the wall as well. I think that's one thing that if people are going to learn how to get overtaken. You can't run that bottom lane, right? And that's partly because the bottom lane is running the bottom lane. The middle lane is running the middle part of the circuit. So the only place you can go is up against the wall. And there were so many incidents. Again, going back to my boys' race, over back markers, not knowing where to put the car. Put it up against the wall and run that wall. Even if you've got to chastain it round the outside, you've got to chastain it because you don't want to get yourself involved. You don't want to be that pain on that guy running in that inside line and making these two packs trying to squeeze up against the wall. It's not going to work. But at the moment, I tell you what, it's working out for Benson, it's working out for Corey, and it's working out for Harmon and Hazlitt as they're the front four at the moment, Brad. But put it against the wall if you're a back marker.
Yep, I will attest to that 100% of the time. Just stay out of the way. We all know what the rule is, and it's if you're lap down, you're going to have guys screaming at you. When I first got into iRacing, the amount of drivers that would just get on the horn and say, hey, get out of my way, go, move, because I didn't know how to be a good passer. I didn't know how to get passed well. It's not something I learned, and I tell you what, you better learn it quick, though, because people will be quick to put you in your place in iRacing. And they will be quick to help you learn how to get out of their way if you catch my drift.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing as well. So many times, like I've done races where I've ended up being caught up. I was running the Ford Thunderbird, I think it was, the other day at Daytona, and I got caught up in a big one. And I mean, it was literally the front four got away and everybody else was involved in this collision. And they were coming round on me and the guy was on the radio going, move, 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 you're on the high line. I'm like, okay, why am I in the wrong place here? What am I doing wrong? And I wasn't doing anything wrong. He just didn't know how to overtake a back marker. I was literally at Dega on the high line out of the way to allow the two rows to go through. And he was on the radio telling me to move. And I'm sitting there going, where do you want me to go? Like, where would you like me to put this car where I'm not already on the high line 3 deep already? There's nowhere for me to go, you know. And some people just don't know how to overtake. Some people just don't know how to be overtaken when you're running a super speedway like this. We have got 17 to go. We have got Corey in the mix here as well. He's alongside Harmon. Corey's waiting for a push from Barton. Then he's going to drop. Well, he should theoretically drop down there as well. Once he gets that clear run, unfortunately, he's being a little bit strung out here. Driving that mirror, look at where you're going out because you need that help from behind from Barton. If you're not going to get it because he's leaving you short, drop in front of him, throw a block at him and say, look, mate, you've got to push me because otherwise neither of us are getting past his front two here as well. Great racing going on there as well. 3 more minutes of optionals for me. Then I'm heading back out, says Robert Freiberg. Oh, dear. Poor Freiberg.
Freiberg, I respect it. I respect the hustle. One of the things I've noticed here, James, is that number 68 of Barton, he keeps looking high, he keeps looking low. He wants someone to go with him. He really wants someone to go with him. The 42 is a little swirly, but nothing crazy happening. But that number 68 really wants to take it 3 wide. 15 to go here. We're hitting crunch time.
We are. But I think for Barton, what he needs, Barton, what he needs to work on is getting Corey past Harmon. Get Corey past Harmon, and then you're leading the outside line. Oh! Hoods everywhere. Cars everywhere. Oh, Goff wiggles his way through. Oh, man. And guess who it was? Barton.
Got way too into it. Was way too excited way too soon. But
in he goes. Look at that.
That's the thing with it. I mean, you're going to have... Oh, man.
Dude, I would have worked on pushing Corey past Hanlon. Pushed Corey past Hanlon, and then none of what you've just witnessed would have happened there as well. He come in, he tried to force Corey off that inside line, and then unfortunately for him, it was just game over. And Barton, I believe, is back into the pits, if I'm not mistaken, here as well. And it's just all wrong for Dustin Barton. We will bring him in and try and have a little bit of a chat. Was it Benson alongside him as well that got caught up, I think, as well, wasn't it? The Benson got caught up there as well. We're going to have a quick chat, I believe, with Mr. Jason Benson. As long as he's not, he is in the pits. Has Jason Benson stopped in the pit lane yet, sir? He has not.
He is about to stop in that beautiful ghost paint. I love his car color. I love his paint that he has on this car just because I like that thing. You know. All right, he's in the pits now.
Right, let's have a quick chat with the number 42 of Jason Benson. We've got C. Benson in YouTube chat. Jason, wow. That weren't a good go-in, was it?
No, that was pretty wild.
Have you worked out what happened, or would you like me to tell you what happened?
Yeah, give me the rundown.
Give you the rundown. 68 machine, unfortunately, tried to muscle past Corey, making it 3 wide. Corey got a little bit squirrely there as well. Then the 68 had to kind of check up and come on the inside. At that moment of time, he tagged you. You spun like an absolute ballerina in Swan Lake. And unfortunately, there was a lot of other cars in behind you.
Well, it was quite the ride. Like, blew my engine almost immediately, and just tried to limp back to the pit. So I got my fast repair. I got some new tires on the right side. We'll see what happens.
Where do we think now, Jace? It's going to be difficult, son. We've got 13 to go. You've got a lot of places to move up. You can grab 3 if you can get round past the people in the pit lane, of course, as well. It takes you up to about 14th place. Where do you think you can end up? To be fair, you can still win, can't you?
I mean, it's super speedway, so anything's possible. But I entered the closed pit to get my car fixed, so I got to be at the back anyway. So we'll see. I mean, if there's another caution, another big wreck, it could come out okay.
Did you get an EOL, did you?
Basically, yeah.
You naughty boy, Mr. Benson.
Well, I didn't want to sit on the track and wait for my engine to blow, so I had to go in.
Well, that's fair enough. I'll give you that one, mate, to be honest with you as well. Well, buddy, hope you enjoyed that last little roller coaster you were involved with. Let's hope it is the last one, Jace, and we'll see how far you can get up through the field now as well, buddy, as we've got 13 to go. Good luck, mate, and I'll pop you back in.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Well, there you go. Benson, he was still quite high-spirited, wasn't he, really?
Yeah, there's 13 to go. I mean, he's still got plenty of time, and thankfully for him, he still had a fast repair, so he's got plenty in the bucket, and I don't think it's impossible for him to come back from back of the field forward. I don't think that's unrealistic, to be honest.
No, I don't think so either, to be blatantly honest with you. As you said, it's the super speedway. Anything can happen. So for him, he's just got to be mindful of where he is now. As we're coming in, pace car lights are off, we're going to be green this time. I think, Brad, to be honest, any one of these has still got a great opportunity of winning.
Yeah, the thing with super speedway racing, it's not over till it's over. It is not over until all of these guys cross the finish line. And even then, you still can have a conversation after the race. So, I mean, it's going to be an exciting 12 laps is about all I can give you. So everybody kind of hold on to your pants. If you need to use the bathroom, you better use it within the next 30 seconds before these guys hit the start finish line, because it is going to be action packed to the end.
Well, there you go, guys, as well. Don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and do all that other fancy jazz, as we've got a lot more racing coming up on the JPB YouTube channel throughout this month. And I do mean a lot, to the point of this Sunday, you have got no fewer than 4 broadcasts going off here as well. You've got the Coffee Cup round 1. They're starting up at 2 p.m. GMT, which is about 9 a.m. Eastern, if I'm not mistaken. They're GT3s from Spa. Then we've got iFormula F3, Super Formulas actually, round 5 from Interlagos. We've got PPR round 5 from Spain here as well. That's in F123. And then, of course, we've got everybody's favorite IGP F3 kicking off on Sunday. So be mindful that there is a lot of racing going on this Sunday, especially if you've got nothing on. You can just stay tuned to the JPB YouTube channel, because it's going to be one after the other, after the other, after the other on Sunday. So look forward to that. You might hear my voice a sultry 4 times on Sunday there as well. as we got 4 broadcasts here as well. On to Labani. Now we're going to go with a Geico restart zone. Now it's all on Harman. Harman's gone as well. Corey needs a push from Hazlitt. Corey needs a push from Herzog here to try and get him past Harman and Hazlitt in front. And at the moment, he's running the outside line. And for Al Corey, he's literally sat there for pretty much most of this race, Brad. He's not really dropped down much. Bogan's now taken up that lower line. Hazlitt, Herzog and Corey still out on the high line there, as Herzog gives him a little tap going through turn 2.
Yeah, Harman and Hazlitt want to get away real fast. Bogan wants in the mix here. Corey Herzog know what they need to do. Those 2 drivers have been impressing me this whole race. I mean, they are settling in. They understand that they are in a very good position and that they need to try to hold on. So these guys are doing really, really well to keep themselves in place. But watch that 117. A 117 at Campbell is going to come in the mix, and we're going to end up with a 6-car battle very, very quick, because these front 6 have already started to split off a bit from the rest of the field. You can see there behind is 65 and 55, but look at that. It's already a half a second through, and if those guys don't get some help quick, they're going to be left way back in the back.
I do fully agree with you there as well. C. Benson, what is the first name? So I don't have to just call you C, who says, people just like to hear your voice, James. Thank you very much for that. To the point, actually, I've got a funny story to tell you about that as well. A driver who messaged me the other day. He said, James, my wife was watching your broadcast for the first time in ages, and she said it's so good to hear your voice again. I said, thank you very much for that one as well. So there you go. Big shout out to Arthur Fertel's wife, of course, as well, who did actually turn around and say that to her husband while she sat on the sofa. So much appreciated there as well, Mrs. Fertel. But there we go. Corey's got the push he needs. Now drop it in on that low line as well. Herzog's doing you a favor, Al. Take up the lower line. Take up the lower line. I just didn't get through soon enough, did he there, Brad, and managed to get on it?
Not at all. Al Corey is in a very precarious position. He's in a very, very 6 one way, half dozen the other on choosing that high or low line, because he's got good help from Herzog behind. But the thing is, Harman and Hazlitt they're going to link up really, really well. It's very much, it's very tricky, but he needs to get ahead and he needs to block out Harman. Harman is his biggest challenge right now. He needs to get some help, because the thing is that low line is building up, and the more cars that get in that low line, the faster it's going to get as we cross the line. 8 to go here.
Yeah, we've got 8 laps to go there. Cora, welcome in, Cora. Thanks so much for that one. Now I know what to call you there as well. So Cora Benson, I'm going to presume is the wife of the number 42 machine there as well, of Jason, of course. Unless I've got that completely wrong, you turn around and say he's your brother, then I am in deep, deep trouble here as well. But you can see the bottom line pushing along as they're entering into turn 3. Herzog just gives Corey a little bit of a push here with 8 to go, and a driver appreciation 69. Big shout out to our sponsor, the man who runs the LOL League, of course, Mr. Brian Cooper here again, who has sponsored today's race. So a big shout out to him here once more there. I think, Cora, if you like your last statement, maybe I should record Christmas cards or birthday card messages. What do you reckon, Brad?
Yeah, I think that's a good option. I would pay for that.
Would you pay for me to sing you happy birthday in my deep, raspy English voice?
Honestly, yes, and that is just because I'm an American, so the English voice is very, very nice to me, because it's an accent that I appreciate. So, yes.
Well, there you go. Let us know, YouTube chat, if you pay for an English voiced card from the deep, raspy Englishman who does NASCAR here as well on the JPB YouTube channel. 7 to go. He's still Corey. He's still Harman. He's still Hazlitt. He's still Herzog. And Bogan is now sitting into the top 5. He's up 19 places. And to be honest with you, out of everybody, I think Bogan's looking the most menacing in that all-black machine at the moment. I think that's the thing for me. His imagery, his body movement, his car movements is looked a lot more aggressive than some of these people. Absolutely, says Cora as well. So Cora would pay for me to sing a happy birthday in a card.
Oh, big check up there from Harman as Harman got very loose on the exit of 2. And you can see Bogan had to slip to the middle lane. So this lower lane in trouble as we go. But yeah, I'm definitely going to pay for a card from you, James. How much do you charge? Well,
I don't even know if you can. can you even do that? I don't even know if that's a thing, is it? Maybe I could just record your ringtone or something, Corey. You tell me what you want me to say, and I'll record a ringtone for you there as well. 6 to go now as well. Corey had his opportunity to go on the inside there, Brad. He didn't take it. Herzog pushed him enough past Harmon when Harmon checked up for Corey to make that inside line work, and he didn't take the opportunity. Is he going to come back and rue that move as well? Here once more, 5 to go. We're on 4 cautions. There's Hazlitt right up behind Herzog. I believe we're on board with, actually that's Harmon we're on board with. As you can see, the outside line of JC John Campbell, the 117. There's the in and out burger of Herzog. Now are we going to see the back end of Corey as well here on the left hand side? Corey's been a little bit more lost once again. Now he's coming round past the try over. We got 5 to go, 4 to go here as well. 4 now at the Daytona Driver Appreciation Triple Bypass 69 here with Brian Cooper as our sponsor. Harmon takes out the whole shot at the moment, Brad. Can he hold on to it?
He's got to find a way to hold on to it. I mean, this isn't a question of can he, it's how can he. And at this point, it's swerve high, swerve low, block the line.
There they go. Oh, they're off. Now take the inside. Take the inside. Why is he not taking the inside out?
Oh my gosh. Corey, come on. Inside line. That's going to be what gets the run.
Again, he had an opportunity with him and Herzog to both take it there. Coming around the line this time. 4 to go. It's going to be 3. Then we're going into the white. He's not, I don't think he's going to do it. I've got to struggle with Corey here as well, alongside Harmon. Hazlitt now, that lower line making moves. Bogan's going to come up, and you know as soon as he gets his nose in front there, he's going to come up. He's just bumped Hazlitt in the corner. Now the top line's got to go again. Now they're going to go. There goes Corey once more. He puts it alongside Bogan, which is the one that I would fear the most out of these top 6 at the moment, Brad.
Yeah, Corey's losing all of his help behind him. That bottom line is going, and at this point, if Bogan can just get ahead of Corey, he can jump high, and with 2 to go, he'll have a run that is going to scare Harmon and Hazlitt very, very quickly, but he just needs a little bit more space. That top line finally starting to come back into things here as we cross 2 to go with the line here, James, and at this point, it's truly anyone's guess where we're going to land.
We are. We're coming into that territory now as well. It's to hold on to the seat of the pants. Here again, there's a back marker there as well. That is, I don't know, that's somebody in somewhere in a car on a racetrack that moves out the way. Herzog goes to make it 3 wide. We're coming round, turn into turn 3 now as well. There's another back Overmeyer up the road. I don't think they're going to get them. Is Corey going to be able to get Harmon as he comes over that white flag, Brad? What do we think?
I don't think Corey or Harmon win this. I think Herzog is going to make a move. I think Bogan or Herzog are going to make a move and send it through. We're 1 to go with the line here, James. Anything can happen. The 36 gets loose before we get to the line. Did we get the white flag?
He got the line. He got the final lap. That's it. Bogan's out. No cautions here again. Now we're going into 2. There was a big one further back. There was a couple of people involved there as well. It looked like Bogan did get himself caught up. Aston Rice may have also been involved. Now is your time, Killer Corey. Show him you're not just the Terminator. Go round turn 3. Get the run. Get that back marker through out of the way. There you go. There's the 22 of Overmeyer out of the way. It's now on Herzog and Corey. They're coming round turn 3 here. Hold on to your hats. Is he going to be able to get the run? Corey's going to have the run around the outside. Hazlitt's got his nose off. It's going to be Hazlitt. Is it going to be Harmon? It's going to be Corey. Come on. I think it was Harmon. Oh, I think it was Harmon.
Oh, my gosh. By 2,000ths. Oh my gosh. Corey was so close to it. He pulls it out in 3rd. For the man who said he was going to get wrecked out, he comes across the line in 3rd place, James.
He just gave Hazlitt enough of a room to let him go through. I'm just watching it back coming out of 2 at the moment. He just gave Hazlitt that little snip, that little moment, that little piece of room. And unfortunately, as soon as he did that, Hazlitt said, I'm having that. And he went up on the inside. He threw a block over on Corey, and Corey just could not hold on as well. Great races, Cora, in YouTube chat. Thank you so much for spending your evening with us for the last hour and a half. At this moment in time, you can see Hazlitt just throws the block on Corey when he gets the run there, and wow, wow, wow.
This was going on behind. This is the number 22 going off behind, but looking at that finish just one more time. I mean, look at this. Corey was in such a good spot, and unfortunately he got a little bump from the 57. I don't think it would have made a difference for him there, but man, he was trying for the win.
He definitely was there as well, but it was Matt Harmon who took the victory. What fun. Thanks, James. No worries, Neil. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, and we lost James there for just a second. Let's see exactly what happened. I think James is back now.
Move me into the lounge.
What'd you go to the lounge for?
Oh no, somebody's been pressing buttons.
It's not me.
I ended up down there. There was a load of people talking in my ear. I was like, what am I doing here? Right. We'll bring up from the beginning there as well. Matt Harmon is your winner with Justin Hazlitt and Al Corey. Your 1, 2, 3. JC John Campbell, Mark Herzog and Benson, Hanlon Hazlitt, Thomas Hazlitt this time, and John OnlyFans Crutchley there in 9th. Alex Goff in 10th. Aston Rice in 11th. Grant Barker 12th. Dustin Barton in 13th. Then we got Morris Bogan down in 14th in the end. Derek Catt in 15th. Overmeyer is 16th. Then we got Harcum in 17th. Wolf Fisher 18th. Freiberg 19th. Cameron Kane in 20th. Then we got Barton, Bradley, Jester, Ruelas, and Sparaza is the last one there as well. Cora, fantastic broadcast as usual. Thank you so much for that. Let's start at the top. Can we pick up Matthew Harmon, your man who was up the front for the last half of this race, and he went and got it over the line by literally 0.025, and it is Matt Harmon. Matt, welcome in, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
How was it out there, mate? Did you get a little bit scared?
Oh, I was nerve-wracking those last few laps there. I thought Al was going to get me.
Yeah, the thing with that is as well, I thought he was going to get you as well. The problem is he left just enough of a gap for Justin to sneak up, and then it just caused a mass accordion effect behind you all, to be honest with you. But, mate, when you're running a race like that, does it really matter where you finish when you've had so much fun as you've had out there?
No, that right there, that was a good race. For me, at least, that's my first win in this league. So that was an awesome race for me. So.
Oh, well done on your first win there, mate. Absolutely loved it as well. Super speedways, Matt. Do you love them or do you hate them? Because they're not everybody's favorite cup of tea.
I think this is the first time that I've ever finished the super speedway race. So right now I'm loving it.
Fair play, mate. Ask me again, James, when we go to Dega, and I'll tell you the same if I love it there as well. But look, buddy, I've got to be honest, that was absolutely amazing. So happy we got to see your first win as well, Matt. Absolutely amazing. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
I just want to shout out to the league and all the admin for everything that they do. You guys for a great broadcast, and Al for a great finish there.
It was absolutely amazing. I will have a chat with Al here very, very shortly, I'm sure, as well. But Matt, well done, buddy. Congratulations again.
Thank you, guys.
Take care. Right, let's have a chat with a man that stole second place away from Al Corey. Mr. Justin Hazlitt, he got the gap up the inside when the gap was open, and he went and took it and threw a block in front of Corey there as well. Justin, welcome in, buddy. How was that for you?
Oh, I mean, it was an absolute blast. There's a lot of strategy going on as far as how much you needed to kind of coast behind somebody at a time, your little bump drafting and stuff like that. But it was an absolute blast.
Did you think you were going to get it?
It was close. So I just went back and checked it. When I broke even with him, I was about 3 mile an hour quicker. And then me and him slightly doored, and it sucked the speed off of me. And Al also was giving him a nudge from behind right at the same time. I'd say that's the 300s I needed. That little bit right there. But I was so close.
Yes, mate, it was. It wasn't miles, mate. It wasn't inches. It wasn't centimeters. It was millimeters there as well. And you were incredibly close as well. You took your opportunity though, well, didn't you? When Corey left you a gap, you went and took the space away from him. You know, when did you sit back and think, I've got to go? Because it was coming out of free, I think it was, before onto the try. When you took that gap, you know, you've got to be in a mindset to know when to put that car on the outside.
Oh, absolutely. Those last like 10 laps or so, I was kind of picking and choosing when my timing might be. I was riding 3/4 throttle most of the time and only getting on it on the backstretch to give him one bump, and then I'd give him a little bump before the travel and a little bump after. And I was doing that because you can't stay too close for too long, otherwise your water temp just goes through the roof. So I saved all my water temp for that last lap. I did not lift. So I knew I was going to be able to push him a little bit ahead of Al on the end there to try to be able to make a move. But damn, was it close. I mean, I think I had maybe 1.5 inches on the outside to get in front of Al.
Yeah, it was. And it was very close. We've just watched it back there as well. It was absolutely incredible. Justin, congratulations on your second place. I'm going to chuck congratulations at you anyway, because I think you've done an incredible job here, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go here this evening?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody over at On Edge Racing. My dad was actually in this race. I think he ended up getting 8th, so all power to him. But yeah, it was an absolute blast, and thank you guys as well.
No worries there, buddy. It was an absolute pleasure to sit here and watch this one as well. But Justin, well done there, buddy. So close, but yet so far, mate.
Yep, have a good night.
And you, man. Right, next up, we can chat to him as well. The man that said he's going to get wrecked out. The man who said he's never going to finish in a month of Sundays. He was inches from holding on to that second place. He got done by Hazlitt, who threw up the block in front of him there, going over the last, coming out of turn 3 before they go on to the oval. But he still managed 3rd place, although he did nearly finish 3rd place going along the line sideways. But it was Mr. Al Corey anyway. Al, welcome in, bud. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thanks.
Mate, you did it. You got to the end and you took a podium.
Yeah, and I didn't have to take a fast repair. That may be the first time in the history of my 20-plus year racing career that I didn't.
Yeah, but if you didn't need it, mate, you didn't have to. Everything happened behind you as well. Come on, what happened on the last lap, Al? You had Hazlitt pinned in, and you just gave him that inch, and he took it away from you.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk with Mark Herzog and Justin a little bit after the race, and Mark was giving me the pushes down on the top side. So it was working out great. Nearly every lap, I was getting past Harmon on the exit, just nudging him out. So I was like, okay, we'll just keep doing this. And I was looking for Mark to give me one more shove coming out of 4 towards the tri-oval, but something happened next to him. Somebody got swervy or got loose, and he couldn't get back to me for the push. So once I didn't have the push, Hazlitt got in front of me, which was a great move. And then I had no place to go. I wasn't going to push him to the win because he was in front of me. So I dove down low, and I was talking to Justin Hazlitt after the race, and he said that I gave Harmon a little bump on the low side, and that's what got him past for the win. So that worked out great.
Yeah. Not that you don't like Justin or anything. You just
no, not at all. Don't take it that way. Just that I was going to get first, and I sure as hell wasn't going to let him get first. So anyway, all good. No, he's a terrific racer. They all are tonight. I know there was a few wrecks and folks' nights got ruined, but that's typically me, and tonight it wasn't. So happy days.
Yeah, it was. I can tell you what happened actually for Herzog. There was a back marker that got caught up, unfortunately wrapped against the wall, and he's just come back and made that little bit of contact. And unfortunately, Herzog wasn't able to get near you, Al. You know what I mean? JC, if JC wasn't alongside you, you might have been able to dive down onto the apron, but unfortunately, the Australian was there holding you in as well.
Yeah. No, look, it worked out fine. We didn't wreck out before the end, and I'm very happy with third place. I really am, and I'm super pleased for Harman. That was a great drive by him. He didn't make a single mistake that I could see in the last 30 laps. So good on him.
Yeah, and his first win ever in the league, believe it or not.
So I was thinking that might be the case, but I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong. So you've obviously looked it up, or he said it, and
he told me. I'm not that clever to look it up, buddy.
Well, that makes it even more special, and super congratulations to him.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Well, Al, thank you so much for joining us there, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out before I pop you back in?
Just my fellow admins here at Triple Bypass Racing who put in the work week after week after week to keep this league strong and a fun place to race. So thanks to all of them.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you very much for chatting to us, buddy. And I'll look forward to having a chat with you again very shortly, I'm sure.
All right. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, there you go, guys, as well. Speranza's in the YouTube chat. Great work, guys. Not the result I was hoping for, but we move on to next week. You definitely do as well. It's going to be great fun as we can see the Daytona fireworks going off. I'm surprised they have the fireworks on the back straight, Brad, not actually on the Daytona over the Daytona logo.
I think that's more of a safety issue because the backstretch is actually very inaccessible because everything you see here in the center of your screen is the infield, and that big black abyss, as it looks like on your screen, is actually just a big pond. When I was there for the Rolex, all the people that camp in the RV parks will actually go and fish and catch fish and cook their fish out in their RVs. So that is, I think that's why they do them in the backstretch, because it's very, very hard for anyone to be around. So if something goes wrong, they don't have to worry about it. And plus, it's kind of cool to see it across the entire track if you're on the grandstands.
It definitely is there as well. Brad talking about his experience at the D24 there as well. But overall, great action again here tonight, Brad. I think we've been in for a treat as we normally are. And it's been absolutely amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, Triple Bypass always show up to show out. And I mean, I want to watch that last lap so many times over. I probably will. I'll probably watch that last lap like 5 or 6 more times off stream because it was amazing. They produced a classic Daytona finish here.
Yeah, it definitely was there as well. And I think we can safely say it's been an absolute epic evening of racing. I think I've just woken up my house here as well because of fact I was on my feet as he went over the line there as well. But look, guys, that's going to wrap it up here tonight as well. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined us. We had Werrod in earlier on. He always comes in and says over or under, and then I never see him again. But we'll give him a shout out there as well. Tyler Ruella's there. Thank you so much. Neil Overmeyer, Thomas Hood, VTX Crumbly Turnip. Oh, I love that name. Cora Benson, of course, who told me her name right at the end of the broadcast there as well. Thank you so much for jumping in, and Anthony Speranza at the end. Cora, hit me up. I'll record something for you. And you can listen to me raspy English voice there when your phone goes or something there as well. But that's it, guys. That's going to wrap it up for tonight. I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Bradley Dalton, who's been providing us with these epic cameras. And I think you're safely safe for the first time. He's done absolutely amazing. But for now, guys, as always, as it always is, here on the JPB YouTube channel. Take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on a track sometime. Good night.